This is Jonas from the Solution Center in Tokyo. Today we'll talk a little bit about using PowerShell scripts in order to execute Redfish commands. We will open up PowerShell ISE. In the previous video we have shown 4 different scripts that we had available, and we'll start utilizing them now to actually modify some settings. You can see now that autocomplete works fine. I'm just using it to get help on the BIOS attribute change script, and it'll give you then some information about how to use it. And if you add -examples at the end, it will also give you the examples for how to use it. So it should be fairly straightforward. We're going to start off with just getting a list of attributes to see the settings that currently are set on an iDRAC. So just go ahead and execute this PowerShell script. It will give you the entries that you need to add: the username, iDRAC, IP address, username, password, and we use the view attribute list only in order to get the attributes printed to screen. So these are all the settings for the BIOS. And we can then also pipe this into a select statement, and then we can pick, for example, CPU virtualization, see that as just that setting alone. It's currently set to enabled. We can of course easily then modify these settings if you like. So we just say the setting, the processor virtualization setting, and then we can set that. Now it was enabled, we can set it to disabled. Actually, before we do that, let's misspell it. We add an invalid setting. And you will here actually tell you that it's unable to set the object properties because it's an incorrect object value. So it won't allow you to set something that shouldn't be there. And now we correct the spelling and we enter disabled as it's supposed to be, and we kick that off. We now have a job ID created for this as well. And we can view this. If we open up a web browser, point that to the iDRAC, and we log in there, we can actually view the queue, the job queue, and see how far it's advanced in there. Of course, the PowerShell script will automatically check the progress, but just to show you that it's possible to do it also from the GUI. So into maintenance and job queue, here you can see that it's scheduled. We'll speed this up a little bit and also view the server screen. It automatically reboots, goes into the BIOS configuration settings, and will modify the value. It should be fairly quick. Of course, it depends on the value that you modify. Sometimes you will not need a reboot, but in this case you will, since it is the CPU setting. We'll speed this up a little bit as well, so it'll reboot and reset again at the end. And there it is. It's completed successfully. And it also tells you which value it is and what it's set to now. So what if you want to modify multiple attributes at the same time? Well, there's a script for that as well. Let's just enter that in here. So in here you enter the same, iDRAC username, password, IP address, and also a file path. And the file path is to point out where the settings file is. Let's just get help for this script as well to see how we're supposed to use it. So you can see in the same folder we now have a file called multiple BIOS attributes, a text file, and we zoom that up a little bit. You can see that there are multiple values in here with a pipe in between to separate them. An attribute and value are separated with a colon. So we can just import this or utilize this settings file. You can also, of course, do the examples for this. So we add the hyphen examples, and then we can see how to use it. This also is fairly straightforward, so we just enter in the iDRAC IP, username, password, and then we give them the file path, right? And we just copy and paste that from Windows Explorer. This is the local file then, obviously. Just give it the file path, copy and paste that in. And just to show you how this works, it will automatically go and look for this file. Multiple bias attributes, right? So we have that file in the same folder. So let's kick this off and it'll import that. It will also be listing this up, as you can see, which value will be set to what. And it just created a new job for this as well. So just refresh this page and you should be able to see that job as well. And there it is, currently scheduled. And just open up the server screen so we can view the server while it's rebooting. I'll speed this up a little bit from here. It will tell you the time afterwards so you can see how long it actually took. The job is still in progress. And there it completed successfully. And it'll tell you then, pass or fail. And yeah, that's it.